we're getting ready to get started. I figure you guys can join me. I'm not going to be able to answer questions on the scope, but I'm Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, and I am doing the keynote today for the Women's Entrepreneurship event in Trinidad, Tobago, and I'm excited. We couldn't get the technology to work earlier today, and so we're just rolling with it. So invite your friends to come on. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to be talking about when passion meets your purpose, right? When passion meets your purpose, and we're about to get started in a minute. I won't be able to talk on the to you directly on the scope. You'll just be able to hear me as I'm sharing with them on the scope, right? So share your business when you're out here, guys. Network with one another as you're listening in. Invite your friends to come in. We're going to be talking about when passion meets purpose. I'm doing a keynote via Skype today, and I thought this was okay. All right.
Hi, everyone. We'd like to restart the proceedings now at this time. I believe that we now have Ms. Redrick, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, available, and the technology is working so that we can take her presentation at this point in time.
Testing.
Hello.
Oh, beautiful.
Can you guys see me?
Great.
Good morning. So ladies, I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be greeting you from Maryland. And I'm assuming that you have a sunny day today. Can I assume? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a rainy day here. It's a rainy day here, and we're raining with great ideas, and I'm so excited to be here for Women's Entrepreneurship Day, and it's a great privilege and an honor to be an entrepreneur, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great privilege, and you know, I have to say that today I was reflecting. I've known Georgina Terry for 8 years, and we have, you know, sometimes when you have teachers in front of you, you don't always know of what their walk is, but I do know her walk. I've been friends with her for the last 8 years. We started a journey to build entrepreneurship, and together we invested in the same teachers, coaches, and mentors. And what we understood, which is what I'm going to share with you today, is that being in entrepreneurship isn't easy. But it requires investment, it requires a commitment, and it requires you having other people who are like-minded, who lock arms with you, and sometimes who tell you what is possible when you don't believe it. And she was that for me. And so I hope that the ladies that are around you today, in that room with you today, that you understand that you're not just sitting next to, on your right or your left, just a person. This is a person. This is an opportunity for you to connect with another woman who is like-minded, and she may be able to sow something into your story, into your journey that will be life-changing. And Georgina did that for me. Certainly over the years, we have called one another many times and said, "You can do this. It's hard. You can do it." And then you have to have people in your life that remind you of the light that you have. And so if you don't have that, I want you to look around that room and know that as you're shaking hands, as you're exchanging cards, that it's not just the cards. You're looking for connection. You're looking for community, because great entrepreneurs need community. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Okay, you guys ready to have some fun?
Of course.
All right. Okay, so I want to talk to you. I want to share a little bit about my story, and my goal is really to inspire you. I know that Georgina, she asked me, she said, you know, can you talk about when purpose meets your passion? And it's a story that I know a lot about. All of us entrepreneurs share this one thing called passion and purpose. When I started my business over 13 years ago, I had a background in corporate training. I was a corporate trainer for Citibank, a large company. I loved being a corporate trainer. I was good at it. And then I became a mom, and I loved being a mom, and I was good at that. And what I found for myself was that there were so many people that organically would just say to me over and over again, as I walked my walk in motherhood, as I was just being myself, they would say to me, "How do you know how to," and it was ... And you may be having people out there asking you the exact same things over and over and over again. And what that was for me was, it was the beginning of me understanding that your gifts make a way for you. Sometimes you don't even know, right, that it is a gift, but you're blessing people along the way by being yourself. And so I started noticing people over and over again asking me all of these things about motherhood. And I thought, you know what? There might be something here. If I combine my love of training, corporate training, and motherhood in some way into a business, this would be perfect. You know, I could go to work as myself. Don't you want to go to work as yourself? Right? Anybody with me?
Yeah.
All right. So because I can't see you, I need to hear you, okay? Because I cannot see you, I want to hear you, all right? And so I made the decision to get some training. I had to figure out what this thing could be called training and motherhood. I didn't know what it would be called. And my very first stop, I went to a small business resource center here in Maryland. And I thought that I'd meet with this director who would help me get started in business. I'm a woman. I have a great idea. I want to combine my purpose and my passion. Surely he could help me. And my first point of entry was discouragement. He said to me, this director, you'll never make money doing that. No one will ever pay you to combine, to work with moms and train them, and that won't work. And you may have had some people out there who've spoken to you very authoritatively, who have taken the dreams that you have and said, they won't work. You know, that won't work. It doesn't make sense. And he said, but what you can do is start a training company or go back to work. Okay, that's what he told me. And I remember giving him my power in that moment. And he gave me these books to read and set me in a corner, and I obliged. I sat there, I flipped through these papers as if he was the authority over my life, as if he understood that and knew what my passion was, what I could do, what my capacity was. But he was wrong, okay? And I went to my car and I cried that day when I left that center because I felt like a fool. You know, I thought, how could I have had this really great idea thinking I could do these things together, and this guy who's the authority says, this is ridiculous. You'll never make money doing that. Go back to work. All right? But just like any dream, any purpose, any passion you have, it won't go away, right? Any of you guys, at night, your brain just is on fire with great ideas, and there's this thing inside of you that you're meant to do, and sometimes it doesn't have a name. So I want to speak to those of you out here who are doing the unconventional things in your business. You're the thought leaders, okay? And what you're doing, it doesn't have a name yet. See, because I didn't know, and no one knew what mom coaching was 10 years ago. So because it didn't have a name, you understand? He couldn't validate my dream, all right? But what I've come to understand is that validation is for parking lots, all right? They're not for dreams, okay? All right? And thank you. And so what I did was I started looking for someone that could help me, show me how I can combine these things. And I hired a coach. I actually hired the second most profitable coach in the world at the time. She was making $10 million as a coach and taking 3 months off a year to live in another country and run her business. And I figured, well, if she's doing all of that, she could probably help me make $10,000. This is the truth. That's all I thought. I thought for sure. And I remember the very first thing she said to me was that you absolutely can make money doing these things, and I can teach you how to do it. And she said, and this was a roadblock for me initially. She said, but it's $1,000 an hour. And I was like, what? This was foreign to me. $1,000 for an hour? I don't even know what I'm going to talk to her about. But I knew that she could help me because she had lifestyle and she was living her passion. And so what I want to say to you is that in order to make your passion happen, you have to align with a passionate person. You have to align with a person who is living their passion. And so I said, okay, what could I get for $100 an hour? And she said, 10 minutes of my time. And you have to sign an 18-month contract. And I was like, sold, okay. And so I I signed up with her for an 18-month contract, and 5 months into my business, she showed me how to build profitable models in my business. And I set up my first digital product, and I began to monetize my business and moved on and started investing more in my coaching and my training. So I want to say this to you, that one of the things you have to do when you are wanting to make your purpose take flight, you've got to align with someone that is doing what you want to do, right? That is living the way that you want to live. And you've got to learn from them. You've got to be an investor in yourself. See, what I had to understand was that the dream alone, that dream alone wasn't enough. Without a plan and a teacher to show me how to create my dream and make it a reality, I would still be kicking rocks. I would still be playing that story of that director saying to me, this will never work. But that's not what happened. Literally, I learned a system on how to build a business and to be able to support women around the world. I learned what the possibilities were, because when I started, I didn't know how to make it work. But she knew how to make and build an amazing coaching and amazing business. So you've got to get around people who see something bigger than you. And that's why being at this event today is so powerful, because a lot of times we as entrepreneurs, we're the solo entrepreneurs, right? We're trying to coach ourselves. We're trying to teach ourselves. But what strategically changed in my business, what strategically changed for me, was when I aligned with someone who was, one, independently wealthy, okay, who had already done the thing that I wanted to do, and that I humbled myself and wrote a check to learn what I did not know. And I want to say that to each and every one of you today, because I know that, you're in a room with thought leaders, and sometimes we're wondering, just like, we do, okay, so, what's next? And we struggle around investment. But the difference in people who see their dreams and people who don't, it's all a matter of their mentality. They're investors. And successful entrepreneurs invest. They invest their time, right? In learning what they do not know. You might have to take a speech class, right? A speaking class. You might have to invest and go to the gym, or you might have to get healthier or build your stamina to build your business. You might have to invest in branding experts or sales experts. But the point is, you've got to be hungry for what you do not know. And when you get the answers for what you do not know, then guess what? Your purpose begins to come into, it becomes colorful for you. You don't start looking at it just from one side based on what you know, or approaching your purpose with one story. You can look at it and stand on the shoulders of your teachers, and they can show you tons of different ways to be able to monetize, to be able to own your stuff, to be able to show up more powerfully as a brand. So let me fast forward in my story. I hired this teacher. She showed me what to do. And I started to believe in me more. I could see that as a result of investing in a teacher, that I had the opportunity to understand my purpose more and the different ways that I could serve my audience. I wrote my first book, which I have here. You guys can see it here, which is Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for a Mother's Self-Care. And when I wrote that book, I think literally the first week when that book arrived, I decided that I would pitch a national brand, which is Panera Bread Corporation. It's a Fortune 100 company here in the States. And I thought, I'd love to do business with them. You see, as a result of getting training and becoming more confident in my purpose and understanding what my mission was, I had this boldness, this boldness that happens. And if you find that you are tentative in terms of reaching for your dreams, or you're second guessing yourself, it is because you aren't investing in yourself to become more confident. Are you guys with me? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's so important to understand that investment and your boldness, they're friends. They're friends, and they work for you. So I pitched this vice president of marketing for Panera Bread. I think at the time, only my mother had bought a book, my aunt, and probably my husband at the time. And it was audacious to think that you haven't sold any books yet. It's a new book. It's just come out. And you're going to pitch the vice president of this Fortune 100 company. And you want to know what she said? You want to know what happened? Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. I know you do. Okay. This is what happened. she called me back. She called me within 3 days of my pitch and said, we'd love to partner with you. And that was my very first partnership with a national brand. And what I learned about purpose and I learned about passion is that the first sale in any transaction is you. Okay, so passion is all about understanding that if you're struggling in your business, getting people to say yes to you, it is only because you are struggling with saying yes to you. Does that make sense? And that struggle translates often in terms of the investments, the things that we say yes to. And I always want to have a very real conversation with entrepreneurs. The fact of the matter is motivation is important. But at the end of the day, motivation doesn't change your bank account. It doesn't change your product line. It doesn't bring new customers to you. What changes that is understanding that true success, being able to live your passion, is all about your habits. It's all about your belief system. It's all about your actions. You see, because when you make those things line up, you begin to make bold requests of yourself. But let's be clear. If you aren't investing in who you are and you've got this great dream, this purpose inside of you that you want to get out in the world, when you do have the opportunity of a lifetime, guess what you ask for? If you think small, you ask for small. You can have anything that you want. But if you don't invest in your mind, you don't believe you deserve it. And so one of the things that I hope that you get today from my talk with you is that the very first thing you need to do if you want to change your business, you want to align with your purpose, you've got to be an investor. You've got to be hungry for investing in yourself. You are your number one asset. And that means that whatever it takes, not I'm going to do this until, you know, we do this as entrepreneurs. We say, I'm going to see if this works. I'll give it, and we give it some number. But the question is, when you see people who are successful in their business, when you see people who are living their purpose, here's what you need to find out. Ask them, what are their investments? Ask them, what books have they read? What teachers have they invested in? Because the reality is, success might look beautiful, but those individuals have made decisions that most people aren't willing to make. And I can tell you that it's all aligned around how they invest in themselves. Do you think that Oprah Winfrey doesn't have a team? We all know Oprah has a team, right? You think Oprah is an amazing communicator, but she's got a speech coach. She's got a production team, right? She's got a team to make her look fabulous, right? You need a team also so that your purpose, so that you can show up powerfully in the world. And you deserve it, right? You deserve it. Are you guys getting hungry about investing in yourselves? I want to hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me just say this, that I moved on. I got my first partnership with this corporate brand, which was like unheard of. I'm like this new author. And then from there, it really began to grow. I started creating Time for Mommy support groups for moms around the world. And literally, we've had 400 Time for Mommy groups, which are support groups for moms, to be able to use my program and to create systems for themselves so that they can show up more powerfully in the world. And it didn't stop there. I started getting contacts from local media initially and saying, you're the expert. We want you to talk to other women about life and business success. And I said yes. And you know what? I don't know if I could have said yes to my purpose had I not been investing in myself, in my mindset, and reading books and working on myself and taking speech classes and, doing what it takes. So what I'm saying to you in my share with you today is that anything that you want in your business is possible. But the question is, what are you willing to do to get to what you want? You can have anything that you want, but what are you willing to do? What are you willing to change? What are you willing to sacrifice so that you can have what you want? I say to my clients all the time, what if 10 years from now, you could have everything you wanted in your business? What if you could have it? 10 years from now, you could have everything you want. Would you still be in business? Would you be there to receive it? All right? Because my journey's been 10 years. I was signed to a national television show in 2013, which is called American Now News. It's an Emmy nominated, nationally syndicated show. You know what? I didn't get signed my first year. I got signed my 8th year in business. And it all started from a dream, from a purpose, from a vision. And You know, you have to stay in the game. It all started when I was in my home, in my office. I'm in my office right now, right? And practicing with my video camera, what to say and how to do it over and over again. To become a success, there's no accident, right? It's habits. And if you align with those habits and you align with those behaviors, you can have the success that you desire, all right? And as an entrepreneur, it's all about not being alone, not being that solo entrepreneur, believing that it's only you that needs to do whatever it is that you need to do. You need to have teachers whose shoulders you stand on. And that is the significant difference in people who get to live their purpose and people who do not. One of the things that I want to encourage you guys to always be thinking about, I get all of my clients to do this, is whenever you're networking with women, this is one of the biggest mistakes we make as women. We connect with people because they do what we do. But what I want to challenge you to do is always network with people who are your ambition level and above. They don't need to do what you do. They need to have what you need. In order for you to get what you need, you've got to know what you need. And so sometimes as entrepreneurs, when we're trying to align our purpose with our passion, we have a lack of clarity around what our needs are. In your business, what do you really need? Do you need someone on your team that maybe is great at selling? Do you need someone that's great with bookkeeping? Do you need someone that's a dynamic presenter? What do you need? Okay? And based on what you need to align. You need to align yourself with other people who have that. And when you do that, you'll notice that instantly your business will begin to change. I have one of my mastermind groups, and Georgina and I were in a mastermind together, and we were accountable, right? Every single week, Georgina will tell you, we were accountable. We showed up for one another. And there's something really powerful about being with women who care about your goals, that hold you to your light and your standard. So if you want to take your purpose and you want to make your purpose happen, you've got to align it and be accountable to other people who care about your vision and your goals. And you've got to care about theirs also. And you have that in this room right now. There are other women, I'm sure, with hands raised. How many of you with your hands raised in this room are a part of an accountability circle currently? Okay. Now, and then how many of you in this room right now, I'm in the room with you, right, are also looking for an accountability partner? Raise your hand. Okay. So now the question is, what are you going to do about it when you have your next break? Are you going to go and start asking people about their businesses so that when you learn about what they're doing, okay, then you can see if what they're doing is in alignment with what you need? Okay, instead of selling to one another. This is what we do as women. We go to networking events. We sell to other people. It's about listening and it's about serving. So what I'm going to tell you is that I have had, it's been an amazing journey. I've been able to support over 112 authors with writing their books. Over half of them are Amazon bestsellers. This is the woman who was told no one will ever pay you. No one will ever pay you to combine your love of training, right, and motherhood in any way. I coach mostly women. 80% of my clients are women who are moms. And I have had the great opportunity to, host events, multiple six-figure events, have moms come in and do all kinds of amazing work, self-work for life and business success. This is the same woman who was told, okay, that this will never work. And my question to you is, what are people telling you? What are people telling you? And based on what they're saying to you, have you started to listen? Have you started to make their story your story? Okay? Because if you have, what that tells you is that you need to get around people, right? You need to have accountability partners who are in line with your vision, who can see your purpose, who keep you focused and centered on your passion. Passion is best fueled to me by investment. And that's how I see it. I've never seen anything other than that. It's not about work or working hard. There are tons of people who work hard that never, ever get to align and do what they want to do. People who work smart, who understand that investing in your mind, investing in your inner game is what changes your outer game. Investing in yourself through books, through tapes, through coaching programs, through, the association that you have with other people, accountability groups. That is what is the game changer that allows you to live your purpose. And I'm thinking that are you guys with me? Did this connect with you guys today?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm thinking that I'm sure that you guys, you brilliant women out here, we're all amazing. We're all brilliant. We're all fabulous. And the world needs you. The world needs you. It's your responsibility to serve people through your gifts. All right. And you have to be ready for that. It's a long-term game, entrepreneurship. But if you could do exactly what you wanted to do, and 10 years from now, everything that you wanted would be here, what would you be willing to do to get there? Who would you be willing to learn from? What investments would you be willing to make? How early would you be willing to get up? How disciplined would you be? Because that is really what it takes. I'm thinking, Georgina, there might be questions for me in the audience, which I'd love to answer any questions that might be there for me. Are there any questions? And I hope you're not shy. I have one of my clients is there in the house, Patrice James. She's one of my Core Mom coaching clients, and she's wonderful. I'm coming to Trinidad in January. She's a beautiful mom and entrepreneur and balancing it all. And I always say that, what's real about balance and motherhood is the fact that imbalance is our gift. And we're looking as moms, you hear all the time, to seek balance. But at the end of the day, imbalance tells you what you need. And if you're a mom and you're out there and you're an entrepreneur, all of us are trying to manage how to make life easier for ourselves. But imbalance is your teacher. So don't resist it. Understand that imbalance is your gift. It tells you what systems you need to put in place. It tells you what critical conversations you need to have with your partner, or maybe in terms of what kind of support you need, maybe with your family in terms of chores or whatever it is. So I just want to say that. Were there any questions out there for me?
Come on, don't be shy.
Are you serious? Okay.
I'm sure that you have a bunch of questions, but time is against us. But what we've decided to do is that you can email Georgina your questions, and she will send it off to me, and the responses will get back to you. I hope that's appropriate for everyone at this time. Yes?
Yes.
Can I just tell us something?
Sure, you can.
Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you.
It's been a wonderful experience sitting here talking. I feel your passion.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Aren't you? Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's been wonderful being here. I'll meet some of you in January, I'm sure. Georgina is the best, as you know, and make sure during the break that you guys make the time to find out what you need. Find out who's in the room that has what you need, okay? And it's not about selling them. It's about serving them. Be of value everywhere you go, and you'll always have exactly what you need, all right? So it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. I love you guys, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye, Georgina. Okay, so I just finished. Did you guys tune in? All right. So I wasn't able to look at the screen, but you were able to see me. I was doing a keynote for in Trinidad today, Tobago today, for the Women's Entrepreneurship Day, and it was a lot of fun. And I just wrapped up, and now I've got to go and meet my videographer so that she can do a really funky, cool clip for me, and which you guys will get to see soon. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.